Hello, anyone not still living in the 1970s. We interrupt your day to bring you this announcement. Husker Ninja is in the building. Alright, guys, we are here with episode 6 of the Nebraska Cornhuskers Dynasty. And since we have a bye week, I thought I'd go over what's going around, both in recruiting and around the country. We'll start with the country stuff first. So, top stories from the previous week. Alabama beat Ole Miss. Wisconsin beat Ohio State. Boston College upsets Florida State 31-24. And how about that? Boston College is undefeated. Tennessee and Georgia play this week. Notre Dame beat BYU. Arizona lost to Washington 24-17. Cal got destroyed against Oregon, I guess. Yes, they did. 44-14. That was. And then we destroyed Maryland. Why do I keep saying Virginia? Well, what I like to do is before I go in and play our games, I'll simulate games from the top 25 and then all of the major conferences. And I'll share this week's top 25 games with you, and the Big Ten games too, I guess. But we had Utah upset UCLA. Louisville beat UConn. Boston College held on against Army. TCU, your new number one, just lost to Oklahoma. So they're not going to be number one anymore. Michigan State clobbered Iowa. Florida Gulf Coast took down Alabama. 53-37 was that score. Nebraska City took Wisconsin to the woodshed. So there goes Wisconsin's number 5 ranking. Georgia Tech beats Miami. Tennessee beats Georgia, so number 3 is no more. Clemson holds on against Syracuse. USC beats BYU. Stanford loses to Washington. Missouri beats Illinois. Colorado beats Oregon State. And if you don't remember, Colorado and Missouri are the 2 teams I moved to join the Big Ten. And I sent Indiana and Penn State packing. But how about Colorado? They're undefeated, 3-0. Florida State destroyed Maryland. Number 2 Baylor beat West Virginia. So you can assume Baylor will be number 1 next week. Mississippi State beat LSU. Arkansas beats Florida. Ohio State beats Minnesota. In the Big Ten, Northwestern won in overtime. Michigan beat Rutgers. And the funny score I found, Iowa State beat Texas 17-15. It's always funny when Texas loses, especially to Iowa State. So we'll take a look at the top 25 polls. Obviously, this is after week 5 and not week 6. We got TCU, Baylor, Georgia, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, UCLA, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Missouri. So of the top 10 teams, numbers 1, 3, 5, and 6 all lost. And then you drop down to the top 15 and less of the top 15 lost. LSU lost to Mississippi State, but really 15 and 16, so who cares? Alabama, I really hope they drop out of the top 25. They're 2-4 now. Yeah. And new to the top 25 were Miami, Louisville, and Nebraska. And Miami and Louisville both lost, so you can bet they'll be out of the top 25. Really, I would bet you Oklahoma and Ole Miss will take their spots. That's a quick rundown of the top 25. It took a domination of Maryland to get Nebraska into the top 25, and even that was just barely. Here's a rundown of the Big Ten West standings. Iowa's in last place, but there's not really any surprise there, is there? There's a rundown of the East. Illinois is in last in the Big Ten East. So we'll take a look at the Heisman Watch. Trevone Boykin, Ezekiel Elliott, and Malik Zaire. And then Paul Perkins and Kyle Allen. Championship contenders. Nebraska staying put, 25th this year. The next 3 years they predict us to finish 1, 1, and 2. So I'll take that, that's pretty good. You take a look at Players of the Week. And in the NCAA, the Players of the Week were Cody Keith and Nathan Madsen. In the Big Ten, they were Zach Oliver and Joseph Jones, both of Northwestern. You look at the toughest places to play, and Nebraska is number 4. And that'll do it for around the country. So now we'll take a look at our recruiting board real quick. 18 current targets. And we have a new commitment. This past week we got the 5'11", 203-pound corner James Alston. He's out of Lake Forest, Illinois. The number 12 cornerback in this year's class. And if you scout, he's got good coverage ratings and good play recognition and jumping and speed. So I think he'll be a pretty good corner for us. And he joined Sam Young as 2 corners in our recruiting class so far. And you know what? This is where we can really take a look and focus at like scouting and stuff. Although I think I showed that earlier, so never mind. Yo, we got 6 recruits in the class right now, and we are well ahead on athletes Ben Smith and Clifton Burnett. We're ahead on Lamar Manning, Jermaine Sears, Jamal Fritz, Nick Johnson, and halfback Brian Hall, the number 2 halfback in this year's class. I found him last week before Maryland. No one was going after him. Like, he didn't have any change on his board. So I'm like, alright, let's take a run at him. And all of a sudden, we move into first place. Just jump about like 5 teams right there into first place. By 400 points, no less. He was interested in us. I think he had us like 6th on his board. And we were 400 behind the lead, so big point swing. Actually, we went up 515, so that's how far down we were. We are only 5 points down on Brad May, a linebacker. We got Mike Allen, Tommy Sears, Paul McTaggart, and John Mitchell. Tommy Sears and John Mitchell may not be on our board very much longer because right now we're kind of going down. That's not good. But that's just a quick update on what's going on in the Nebraska Dynasty. We'll see you guys next time for Week 7. That'll do